All right, everybody, welcome to the inaugural season of One-and-Done-athon. I'm Amerlin. I'm here in the GDQ studio. I did not expect to be on camera this afternoon, but I'm so excited for this marathon to go on. This is a concept I've had for a long time. I want to show off a lot of the uniqueness, a lot of the variety that the speedrun community has at its disposal. And so I made this marathon. I pitched it to GDQ, and now we're putting it on. Just absolutely stacked schedule. I promised I would try to say something about every single run. So I'm going to try to run it down right now, just Saturday. Lego Star Wars. This run was really funny to watch the submission for because there's so many out of bounds that really it looks like it's an extremely broken game, and I'm really looking forward to see it. Bug Fables. It's a Paper Mario-esque. The movement tech in it is really tight, and there's a lot of, like boss and enemy manipulation that's really cool. Bug Snacks, that was one of my favorite games when I played it. I'm really looking forward to seeing the any percent category. I actually haven't seen that yet. I've only seen the glitchless or no out of bounds categories. Cat in the Hat is a game that the runners showed me 3 or 4 years ago at a GDQ. It is hilariously broken because it's a point-and-click adventure on the PS1, which seems really weird, but yeah, we'll go with it. One-Shot. One-Shot is a game that does a lot of really unique things with its speedrun. It does things similar to Doki Doki Literature Club, where you have to like manipulate the game's files, but you have to do it in a slightly interesting way that I've never seen before, and I think that run is extremely unique. Super Mario 64, obviously the classic, we got to have it, but it's 16-star blindfolded by Bubzia, and anything blindfolded, I am in awe of. I can't do blindfolded runs. I tried Super Meat Boy, and I can't. My muscle memory isn't good enough to hold the buttons down for exactly long enough. Super Mario Bros. 2, again, another classic. Adam Ferrari 64, I've seen him posting his runs and him getting better and better and better, and that's something I'm really looking forward to. DuckTales Remastered, again, classic. I think the movement in that game is really cool, and just the speed that the runners can adjust to everything really quickly. Spy Who Shrunk Me, really, really short, extremely glitched indie game that From Dark Hell is running. And I run aimbot also, and so that's full of FPS games. And so I love all the out of bounds in that game. Fogs, you control, like, if you've seen Cat Dog, it's 2 dogs instead of a cat and a dog. And there's a lot of really wonky physics-based movement in that. So that's what I'm really looking forward to from there. Dead Rising, again, one of my favorite games. Time skip is really cool because you don't, excuse me. Time skip is really cool because you don't have to wait through a lot of things. You get to, speed through it very quickly. And I'm really excited to see how, I haven't seen all of the strats in it, but I'm really excited to see how that whole thing goes. And then finally, Hollow Knight. It's actually it's a miscellaneous category. So it's all charm notches, no major glitches, current patch. And I like alternate categories for things. I think it's really cool when people come up with their own, their own concepts, their own ways of playing the game that restricts you, but also lets you see more of the game and do more. So that's Saturday. Again, super stacked schedule. I'm very, very excited for it. But I've talked for 5 minutes now. That's definitely long enough. I'll go ahead and pass it over to Lasertrap doing Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga on DS. Should mind, not the other one. So Lasertrap, go ahead and take it away.
All right, I was kind of trying not to burst out laughing because chat noticed how Vader has his mic unmuted. But yes, this is Lego Star Wars on the DS. The formerly Complete Saga, of course. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, why on earth is this the DS version? Well, free play in the DS version happens to be my favorite speedrun of all time. So you're in for a treat. Definitely hit it home with with this category and being a unique one and a great one to show off. And we're going to be using a lot of Yoda. Free play is a mode you have everything that you want unlocked, and so you can pick any character. And my character of choice in most levels is going to be a Yoda, and you're about to see why. So let's get this run started once the level loads in. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. So you'll notice straight away that Yoda goes very, very fast, and he has this attack pattern to go fast where I go attack, 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 and jump. That is the fastest way to move in this game. I realize I haven't introduced my commentator yet, so Zelda Cube, say hello, and maybe you could let us know what on earth is happening with these doors.
Hello. Okay, so what's happening with the doors is Yoda's attack patterns, it's in like a sets of 3. So you would do like 1 or 3 horizontal attacks in a specific direction. Sorry, words are hard. So what laser trap's doing is they are landing their second attack at a 45-degree angle to the door. And then during the third attack, they're switching back to a perpendicular angle to the door. And that allows them to just clip through almost any door as Yoda. The result, and for a lot of other reasons, such as incredibly fast movement, you're going to be seeing Yoda used a lot during this run.
Yeah, so just when he's attacking, Yoda is the fastest character to play with in this game. Compared to when he has his lightsaber out, or lightsaber away, he is the slowest character to move with. So, here we go. The Yoda movement itself, kind of basic, but you can really optimize it so that top runners can save pretty much minutes throughout the run just by having quicker Yoda movement in general over beginner runners. Now, this level kind of basic. We can actually play these levels in any order we want, but for a marathon showcase like this, I like to go in chronological order. Now, free play, I mentioned you can pick any character to go into each level, so we're not worrying about the characters that it would usually give us in the story mode. But there are a couple of other things in a free play speedrun, if you'd like to talk about those, Zelda Cubed.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that, other than just being able to pick a character, is extras. So there are these red power bricks that you can pick up in various levels, and they allow for unlockable extras. And the 2 that you'll probably notice right off the bat are invincibility, which actually, not really, because Force Yoda is used, and Force Ghost Yoda is invincible anyway. But the other one that's really noticeable that you'll see later is self-destruct. But there are also a bunch of extras that are difficult to notice as well, such as like super lightsabers, super blasters, fast build. But overall, they help save a lot of time during this run.
Indeed. So, the most common trick is definitely going to be these door clips. Not every door can be clipped through. Not every door is actually advantageous to clip through. I actually have Jar Jar Binks in my party here, although he's not going to be super useful in this level. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Right here is Theed Palace, and some of the door clips that we're going to be seeing in this level, other than this one, actually get quite a lot harder. So, as we get to them, door clips aren't super hard, they're just hard to explain. At the end of the day, you got 10 frames to go through them, but things like, as you saw with that door, things like the door being at a difficult angle can make it harder. And also, if you don't have as much space to work with, then that can also limit the number of frames you actually have to clip. And the one coming up right here happens to be both at an angle and have a very narrow space to clip with, so let's see. Not first try. Alright, second's pretty good. This room has a lot of really cool movement where you can really just see why Yoda is so useful, and I think Z-Cubed would like to talk about that.
You're going to see it used a couple times throughout this room. They're going to do something called a triple jump, where they'll do an attack, which will give them a little bit of extra height, and then as Yoda, you can double jump out of all of your attacks. That really just helps with speeding up like the process of getting to the various guards in the room. There is another thing that's important to mention. Your level is going to end after freeing all the guards by using a panel to open a door. You may wonder, well, if they're using Yoda, why don't they just Yoda clip to the end. And for whatever reason, you cannot Yoda clip through that door. And even if you could Yoda clip through that door, it does not end the level. So unfortunately, you have to do this room out. But it's a good example of Yoda movement, so it's maybe not unfortunate.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't want it all just to be clipping through doors. That would make it a little bit more stale, so we get a little bit more variety in the run. Yeah, you actually can clip through that door with another method that we will see later, and my goodness, that is a horrible method of clipping. All right, finishing off episode 1, you may notice that I skipped over Pod Race. Unfortunately, we don't get to see Pod Race because it is a ship level. Ship levels in this game are not available in free play. All right, Darth Maul, first thing I do is throw detonators into what looks like a pit, except they bounce off the invisible ground and hit Maul just like that. I'm going to be going for a clip that saves 1 second here, but you can clip through those doors as they're opening. It takes the full length of the animation of them opening for the invisible wall to go away. All right, a bit of Yoda movement in this room, and Zelda Cube mentioned in the last level how I was doing triple jumps. So all Jedi characters in this game have the ability to double jump. So like you can jump once from the ground and then once more in the air. But with Yoda, your attacks give you both distance and height. So you can also double jump from any place in that attack. And I just crossed a gap there using a quadruple jump. This room we call the Room of Pointlessness. And I'm not clipping super well right here. Ooh, this is a really bad... Let me shut up. There we go. Let's get the other ones first try, or not. I need to up my clip game today. All right, do you want to talk about bosses? Because this is quite funny. I know you're jealous as an any percent runner.
So yeah, in any percent, these bosses are quite difficult to do because the combat style in this game is surprisingly complex. You need to avoid their lightsaber as well as try and get hits, and they can block it super easily. It's really difficult to fight these bosses quickly in story mode, but in free play, if you're the bounty hunter, you can just throw detonators, and since you also have access to the extra invincibility, you will not die. So you can literally just stand in front of the boss and throw detonators until they're dead.
All right, that's Darth Maul done. So our next level is the first one where I'm not going to be using Yoda. Well, I might be using Yoda if I get lucky character RNG. You can only pick one character in the game. Auto-fills the rest. But, yeah, I'm going to be picking my custom character who can do a really cool trick. This first one is called Cry Me a River. Oh, I got Yoda. But it makes you cry, and it was found by a runner named River. So, yeah, I find it difficult to talk during this, but go ahead and explain this one.
So they're doing something called an infinite jump, where if you have a character that can double jump and shoot a blaster, you can just jump forever. There's only one character that can do it, without any modifications, which is Jar Jar Binks, but custom character can design a character that double jumps and shoots a blaster really easily, so thankfully we don't have to see Jar Jar in this run. But anyway, they're going to do an infinite jump to a different spot on the map, and a lot of the rooms in a level are all loaded on the same map, so they're able to just do an infinite jump to a loading zone in the later part of the level.
Man, I keep getting the loading zone at a really difficult time, right in the middle of my blaster shot. So yeah, these improper loads are kind of really eating away at the inputs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There we go. All right, let's just land this one now. We landed it. All right. Since I got Yoda as a 1 in 7 chance, I'm going to use Yoda in this section just to speed up a little bit. It really does save that much time just to use Yoda there. And then this last bit. All right, that should be good. All right. So It went a little bit rough. Infinite jumping itself is actually quite an easy trick, to say the least. But doing the out-of-bounds skips, as you're seeing, there are so many things that go wrong. You have to, like, when you're jumping to a different room, the game will improperly load a different room, and that causes a lot of lag, just to reiterate what we've already said. And that was what was getting me on those attempts. So yes, that's a unique thing to the DS game. You cannot actually do that in PC or console.
Just as a quick note, also, when you improperly load a room, the collision is not loaded, and that's why the boss just fell through the floor right there.
Yeah.
And thankfully for blaster bosses, them dying is what ends the level, so you can do that on that level and save a lot of time.
Yeah, we certainly wish that we could kill lightsaber bosses by them falling through the floor, but it is unfortunately not possible. Alright, Droid Factory is kind of a silly level because my AI partner was right there. And, oh, you're really having a lot of trouble crossing, aren't you? Come on, Maul. Yeah, I haven't mentioned yet, but if you're unfamiliar with LEGO games, there is always a AI partner following you if you're not playing in co-op, and I happen to not be playing in co-op on a DS. We used to think that door clip right there wasn't possible, or at least I did, so I didn't do it, and then this one amazing glitch hunter called Lord Magecar told me, why are you not doing that clip? And whenever Magecar says something to you, you think, oh. Yeah, Lord Magecar is an amazing person who found all kinds of tricks and sort of made this run what it is. He found door clips and a few other crazy skips, and even cutscene skips in story mode, which you may have seen if you watched my any % run at SGDQ. Alright, I just use a detonator to free everyone at the end, and then I kill him using the Force for fun. So, I actually have chat open, and the next level happens to be like the biggest bit of downtime in the run, although I still have to actively think about what I'm doing. It just goes on for a while. So this is a point where I am happy to answer any questions about the run if you have them. Because in the meantime, it's Jedi Battle. An arena filled with sand. Should I say the quote? I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. It gets everywhere. All right. So this level is all about knowing what happens when and where. And actually, just a quick thing. You can character swap off of these switch animations. It makes sure that they are still pulled, and you can also get away from them quicker. So it's just a bit of an animation cancel. I'm not going to use it all the time in this level, because sometimes having your partner help you out with the switches is a little bit better. Actually, this might... Oh no, he's there. Detonation is just the fastest way to take out these battle droids. Now, the first question I see, is this being played on emulator? I actually am playing on a real DS with a capture card built in. Here's the DS. Might have hit my mic accidentally, whoops. I just prefer to look at the capture on the screen as I'm playing. Alright, so we've freed Padme and Anakin so far. Ooh. Yeah, so you see I'm using detonators to take out a lot of these enemies, I guess, because it is faster. But droidicas usually take a very long time to kill, like, without detonators. People are asking about the music. Why do I have it turned off? Is it because of strikes? Basically, yes. I play it extra safe with marathons in particular. Why did I submit this run? It is my favorite run of all time. And after episode 2, it really does pick up, so as we go on, you will definitely see a bit more of why. Don't know where my partner is right now. Small, where are you? All right, I guess I have to do all the work myself. If you are wondering, by the way, DS is actually a completely different game compared to PC and console. I'm not sure if everyone knows the differences. It's shorter, yes. They had to cut down on quite a few things, but it makes a wonderful speedrun. And even then, after this run, I can also recommend checking out the PC version, the full any percent speedrun, which was actually done recently on GDQ's channel. I believe it was done on the Bargain Bin. So that has been uploaded to YouTube as well, if you wanted to watch a PC run after this. Ooh, I have bad aim right now. All right, and as the level fades out, I'll just switch back to Yoda, so I can get a little bit extra time save in the cantina. All right. So, Count Dooku, final level we're going to go to in episode 2. We skipped over a ship level because once again, ship levels, unfortunately, you can't play them in free play and on DS. I actually set an IL record in this level yesterday when I set also the full game record for this category. That's probably where all my luck went to. All right. This fight's also a little bit straightforward. Just the beginning is kind of hard to get to work well. There's a few factors that can sort of get in your way. In between phases, Dooku jumps away, but you can still finish the hits with detonators. You don't have to force anything back. Oops. Accidental double tap there. So yes, I promise episode 2 may be a little bit more boring than the rest. I promise it's about to get a lot better. We are going to Grievous first of all, and this is the first level that we will see that I picked the infinite jump character for, but I'm not going to do a crazy skip with it. I should say it's the next level we see, it's custom character. I'm almost going to the wrong level. Partly because I usually play with a different level order. Okay.
Gotta make sure to pass over those ship levels.
Yeah. So do you want to take us through this fight, Is he cubed?
Yeah. So
Dang.
basically, the way Grievous works is you're supposed to shoot like these things that are next to him, and so you're normally supposed to go through like this long like maze of puzzles and movement. But instead of doing that, you can just infinite jump, shoot the barrels a lot quicker, and then just immediately start spamming detonators. Unfortunately, on like the third barrel thing you're supposed to hit, you cannot really do that since it's locked behind this wall, and you have to use the force to get it next to Grievous. But you can still infinite jump up and skip that, and it still saves a lot of time. So already this level that's supposed to be relatively long is already done.
Yep. Just as a fun fact there, I actually like to use the music if I'm playing on my own stream to time my infinite jumps with how quick they can go. I do apologize if it's sounding a little bit quiet today, but we want to play it really, really safe. We don't want to get caught by the nasty copyright bug. All right, this is one of the coolest levels in the run, and I'm already stuck in a fence. And now I am walking on invisible ground. I didn't mean to get stuck in the fence, but I guess that's a cool bonus. So here we go. Excuse me, my voice is a little bit dry. This is a very cool level, but also very stressful. This is probably the second most time save I have in my current world record. Because there's so much to think about and so much that can go wrong. A lot of cool and difficult Yoda movement, and optimized Yoda movement here is really, really difficult to do. Because just to reiterate what we said at the beginning of the run, we go attack, 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 jump. And that's the fastest way to move around. But sometimes you want to change it up a little bit. Because it depends on like if there's any door clips or any jumps that you're going to do coming up. So as you run this game more and more, you sort of get a feel for what the most optimal Yoda movement is. I kind of like to call it normalized movement, but maybe Bob's here will teach you more about that in the blindfolded speedrun later tonight. This is a difficult quad jump, made it first try. So the reason that's so difficult is because there's an invisible wall blocking the way. And so you can't go over the invisible wall, you actually need to go under it, which is interesting. They tried to block it off, but we found our way with Yoda. And now I'm just gonna triple jump to get up these, this mountain faster. We've got a little bit of a tricky door clip here. It's harder than some others, not too much space to work with. Yeah, I kind of expected this one to go like that. All right. And then to end the level, we will, I guess, oops, touchscreen. I guess we'll force out the rocket. I'm gonna take a drink. Let's all stay hydrated. Okay. This level it has a really stupid trick that I've sort of committed to putting in every run. Without Yoda as RNG, there's a skip here that saves like 5 to 7 seconds. But this is the hardest infinite jump. Oop. What is happening there? This is the hardest infinite jump out of bounds skip in the run, in my opinion. So I find it really hard to talk here, and I'm gonna once again throw it over to Zelda Cubed.
So in this next room, they're going to do this infinite jump. And essentially they're trying to land behind a small door and land in an even smaller loading zone. As they said earlier, this saves 5 seconds, like first try, and if you miss it, every missed try is going to cost 25, but they just pulled it off perfectly there.
Yeah,
so.
That feels a lot better. I messed up the first jump, the first big jump in the run, and I got the hardest one first try, so that feels a lot better. That one's just the most blind to do easily, so you really have to know where you're going during that one. And on top of that, the place to land in to get to the final room of the level is one of the smallest points to land in out of all the infinite jumps we do in the run. So I'm very satisfied with that. This hasn't been the cleanest prequel section, but still, we've got this run moving now, I hope.
Something interesting about this level actually is there is an in-game timer in this room, which is one of the only few, if not, it's the only instance I can think of a timer in like a normal character level rather than a ship level. And it really shows how much movement saves. So normally the fastest time you can get in that room without Yoda, like if you were doing an any % run or something, is 35. There, they had like a little mistake on the slide clip and they still got a 36. Like it just shows how crucial it is to use Yoda during this run.
Yeah, a short room there, only about 12 seconds long with Yoda, but that adds 3 more seconds in a story mode run. So yes, very much Yoda is useful everywhere. And if you're wondering what that slide clip was, we can't actually Yoda clip through that door, but the slide clip is interesting where some objects sort of have this strange collision that will just casually push you through a door. And we may be seeing some of that in the next level coming up. It's got a skip, the only skip in the run that I found myself. I found an easier method, but then other people found a slightly more disastrous method. So I'm going to be going for a ceiling clip here, and then there'll be a slide clip at the end of the level. So here goes. Nope. Why don't we talk about why on earth this is or how this is such a bad trick?
Alright, so when you throw a detonator, the way it moves in the air is random.
Yeah.
So you're essentially trying to do a precise clip off of an object that moves in a random way in the air.
We're
And
getting
so
trolled.
as a result, it's impossible to come up with like a setup. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get a ceiling clip, which they just got there by landing on the detonator, and now they can do an infinite jump to a later part of the level where they'll have to do another detonator clip.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the guide that Laser Trap wrote is they talk about this level. They're like, okay, there are a couple ways to do detonator clips. You can land on it and slide, just like that. However, this is very inconsistent. The other way is to let it push you through the wall. This is also very inconsistent.
Yeah.
So there's just no good way to get around it. But that was quite clean. The second detonator clip, that was very fast.
Yeah, usually I get a little bit more luck with that door than any other detonator clip in the run. So, I don't know why that is, but anyway, deck clips just are the way they are. Here's the Jungle and Wastes. Quite a cool level. I used to not really like it, and then I started liking it, and more recently I've started not liking it again. It's a cool level. It's just frustrating sometimes, to say the least. But anyway, over the years, we've had a few extra optimizations to climb the sand crawler here. So first of all, I'm going to get up on the side of the wheels, I guess. Force a panel from there, jump up there. And now I'm going to triple jump up. Oops. And I'm going to fall to the bottom. That is an unusual mistake. That's what you get when you're commentating while playing. But then I'm going to use a character swap at the top of my triple jump to give me a little bit of an extra height boost, because as well as canceling animations, oops, sorry, Jawa. The character swap can sort of reset your height, but at a higher point. All right, nice door clip. The door clips inside the sand crawler are a bit tricky. So that one, I'll just take the like 0.5 second time loss and open it with a panel. And then this last one gives me the most trouble, and I got through all of them first try. And
Nice.
then we're back outside
That's
again.
really hard.
A bit of long distance, didn't get an attack, a bit of long distance jumping here. It's a cool way to end the level. And I want to shout out Jinjairu, not really a speedrunner of this game, but they helped me back in the day finding glitches in Lego Batman DS, and they came to this game, and in their own words, we can abuse buggy level geometry at the end of this level. Because you see over here, there's sort of a pane of glass in the way of that switch. Well, it's not actually there. It is faster to open that door, but I figured I'd show that off anyway. Because that was something we found before we even knew about Yoda clips with doors. All right, this level's a bit short. It's kind of a forgettable level on the DS, unfortunately. I don't say that about too many of the levels in this game. But all in all, doing it right still feels pretty satisfying. So I'm going to break up my usual attack pattern there, just to set up for this door clip. We got it. Nice. And on that note, there's a door clip at the end of this room that I actually only need one hand for, because for some reason on this door compared to the others, you can just hold neutral on the D-pad. Look, I got through. All right. Not too much towards the end of the level. Ooh. This run, there's not a lot that I like more than going fast in this game, I'll be completely honest, but just using Yoda like this is so satisfying to do, and so satisfying to get all fine-tuned and everything. And I used to do this next level without Yoda. In fact, there was a time when I golded the previous level, and then I picked custom character on this level. So MageCar was in my chat and said, "What a gamer," and then saw me pick custom character and said, "Never mind." But this level with Yoda is quite cool. We start off with a frame-perfect ceiling clip. And I'm just going to walk into this corner a few times. This is the worst it's been in a while. Classic marathon luck. We got through anyway. We were stubborn. All right, this next part with Yoda is really tricky. So I'm gonna jump up here on this camera and then up to an invisible platform here. And just walk along it for a little bit. Jump towards the camera and into a door and fall to my death because I just barely missed the loading zone. So I'm gonna do a safe backup in that case. Use astromech flight. And so I just skipped an awful lot of this level because this level kind of combines the Rescue the Princess and Death Star Escape level, which are 2 levels on PC and console. But I just skipped Rescuing the Princess. I skipped like the Stormtrooper disguise. I skipped the trash compactor, and now I'm just doing a bit of a tricky jump up there. Triple jump and a character swap. No biggie. So now what I'm doing is freeing the Falcon from a pit that has a force field over it. That bit that I definitely remember from the movies. Sometimes these buttons like to try to kill my runs. And yeah, this is the end of episode 4. We've got 2 episodes left. It's actually only 6 levels because episodes 5 and 6 have only 3 levels that are available in free play. They have 2 ship levels each. So actually we're not that far from the end of the run. Not everything has gone perfectly in this run, but I'm pretty sure that we're on pace to get underestimate at least. So let's start with Echo Base. This is an example of a level where actually not all of the doors can be clipped through. So this first one, I'm gonna build this block and push it. It's kind of like a heater and it'll melt the ice in the way. But the second one, something else is gonna happen. We'll see coming up. So, do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah. So this is a clip that's given me a lot of confusion just trying to understand in the past. But I actually shouldn't have said clip because it's not a clip at all. All they did there was just squeeze through a gap between the ice and the door and hit the loading zone. And they got it very quickly, but that is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah. I found a pretty consistent setup recently, which I'm very happy about. But understanding it and trying to get a feel for the right inputs is really difficult. It's not difficult to sort of get into this game, but mastering it is really, well, it's quite a challenge. And I mean, I would almost say I've mastered it, but then again, I still have about 100 seconds to save compared to my sum of best segments. This is a difficult door clip to top off the run. Or the level. The camera's being especially weird. There we go. And to end the level, I do have to use a C-3PO panel. You can see the Falcon behind a barrier there, but we cannot, unfortunately, clip through that barrier, so we have to sort of do it as intended. Not fully. We can do some clips to our advantage and skip more block pushes, because that's what we do best in that level. This is also one of the coolest levels in the run. And naturally, we would get Yoda for about half of it in story mode. So, well, it's Yoda's home planet, I guess. Or maybe not his home planet, but where he went into hiding. Just a lot of really cool Yoda movement here, if you have anything to add, Z-Cubed.
Yeah, all I really can say about this level, it's just a perfect example of everything that makes Yoda fast. You're going to be seeing quad jumps, you're going to be seeing clips, you're going to be seeing general movement. It's just such a sight to behold. This is such a fun level to watch.
And the gates in this level, I mean, you kind of think you're not going to clip through them because they look like they're really thick to clip through, but actually these ones have very thin collision, so you can clip through them like most doors. I'd like to give a shout out to Shemcat, amazing runner, who hasn't actually played the game in a while, but still, my most recent competition in free play. probably yelling at me for using the bushes to make those quad jumps, but it really does not save any time to not use the bushes. Thank you very much. And here we have Dream Vader, and I'm not even going to bother throwing detonators at this boss because the level's over behind that gate. So there we go. All right. Now, if you thought we were free from detonator clips with the bombs, unfortunately we're not. Hey, we got Yoda RNG again. So actually,
nice.
This is going to be a good time to say, yeah, for some reason, the doors in this part of this level, you can't clip through with Yoda. So we are forced to use a detonator clip. Here goes. Nope. We could be here a little while, but I'm actually going to show off a trick in the next room, I'll say now, that isn't faster in free play, but I want to show it off because it is a new development that saves almost 4 minutes in the any percent speedrun, which was already super short. I ran it at SGDQ, and that was before this was discovered. I'm getting a lot of bad luck here, man. It's probably not going to make a lot of sense, so I'm just going to show it off and we'll see what happens. Or at least I'm planning to show it off if I get through the door. Good grief. Marathon luck. Hey, that just pushed me through in a really weird way.
Oh, wow.
All right, so this trick, I'm just going to try to shoot 2 frames before I land on the ground. And eventually, I will hit a 1 in 4 frame roll. Yes, we've got a frame perfect trick that runs on a 1 in 4 frame roll. And when I do this, the room will get very strange like that. Then I'm going to change character and just walk through the door like that. So as I mentioned, that's not actually faster in free play, but I wanted to show it off because that's a new development that I didn't get to show off when I ran any percent at SGDQ. And one more infinite jump to end the level. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, a bit of counting on my setup for that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
A little funny thing about that level is it's normally like like you see Laser Trap doing all of these like crazy out of bounds skips to skip like plot points, but that one, it skips arguably the biggest plot point in the series, and it's just trivial and free play because all you have to do is swap the 3PO.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're about.
Oh, good Yoda RNG in this run. I didn't get a single Yoda in my infinite jump levels in the recent world record. But here we go. Here's another infinite jump. Considered by some to be the hardest one in the run. To which I say, why would you do this late in the run if you think it's the hardest? But yes, I have a bit of a path to follow here, and then eventually I'm going to land all the way on the sail barge. 2. Yeah, so this level kind of combines... Oh, I missed. There you go.
Oh.
That'll shut me up. This level combines Jabba's Palace and the Great Pit of Carkoon, so I don't enter Jabba's Palace at all. But yes, I'm going to be quiet so that I don't think I have it when I actually don't. So if you want to add anything, that's fine.
I was just going to say, this is really hard. These infinite jump levels are quite difficult to do.
Okay, that was strange. It got the improper load later than usual. But with Yoda RNG here, I can actually save some time with that clip right there.
Normally what you'd have to do is like land on that lever and then jump through a spot in the wall where there just isn't collision to land in the loading zone, but Yoda is fast, so.
Yeah, that trick is called Hanless. I think Nuxmaster found that. Or maybe Nuxmaster found Hanless, because we had an original infinite jump called Hanless, where we skip rescuing Han. But then we found that even faster one that is actually slightly easier, so we called it Hanless. This is another very cool level. It's kind of like a training stage, but we're going to see a trick that uses self-destruct. And it's about 20 seconds of time saved to skip an elevator. So here we go. Yep, got it. So I died on the same frame. Oops. Whoops, I meant to switch to Yoda there. But I died on the same frame as blowing up the droid with the self-destruct extra. And that sort of stored my death invincibility frames. And there we go. It skips, you fall through a death barrier and into the loading zone. Now we've got some more cool Yoda movement with the triple jumps to get some height over the fences. And to end the level, some more relatively basic door clips. I was expecting to fail that right as I was calling it basic. But yes, just because of all these things that it has, that's the reason I would say it's a good training stage. And we actually only have one level left, and it's the one I usually do first. So in my guide, I said something like, please don't do this level last, your run has so much to live for.
Yeah, this level's hard.
Oops, it's the wrong way to start already. All right, let's do this right. Or try. Yeah, he's already being mean. He's being really mean. All right, I skipped one of the lightning phases. But you can actually skip all lightning phases but the first one in that part of the fight. Now, this is the one level where I'm actually jealous of PC and console runners as well, because they have something called Ultra Kill, where they can just push him off an edge and he dies. That's the level. On DS, we cannot do that, unfortunately. But it is a really cool level, but nobody wants to play it, essentially. For context, I have just under 1,000 attempts in this category, all doing this level first, and my goal is not fully optimized. But in a sense, this is just one of those games where it's hard just to string a single level together, let alone string the full run together. Because in each level, there's so much to be aware of. Even in the ones where you think you can just sit back, you still have to stay focused. Because Yoda movement, there's a lot to be aware of. All right, and another horrible thing about this level is, will my partner choose to follow me? So I'm gonna just do some of this while I wait. And all right, nice Yoda. Thank you very much. I think I missed. Okay, no, I got it. Yeah, we're 30 seconds or so away from time, providing my Yoda friend doesn't go anywhere stupid. All right, another bit of lightning skipping there. Pretty simple to the end. I can't skip that phase of lightning, unfortunately. And then there's just going to be one more hit. And when the level fades out, that'll be the end of the run. So thanks very much for watching, guys. And that is time. Not my cleanest run. I'm going to guess that was somewhere in like the 43-minute range. But at the same time, I'm happy with some of the stuff that did go right. Yeah, so I got the world record in that yesterday, so I'm not going to grind that for the time being. But free play mode is mostly used for getting collectibles casually. So my next project is going to be getting all the collectibles in free play. Speedrunning that. Currently the record is a 2 hours, 27-minute run, so that adds a lot of time. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It is an honor to open up the first edition of One-and-Done-athon. But unfortunately, I will never be running here again. Thanks to ZeldaCube for commentating
for
as well,
opening
and
up.
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for opening it up. Really, like I said, really sick run. I was, watching your submission video. Definitely highlighted a bunch of the glitches and the out of bounds and stuff. And so I just love this game. But goodbye forever, Laser Trap.
It was an honor while it lasted.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so we're going to a short break, and we'll be right back with Bug Fables: The Everlasting Sapling by Jankmo.